Right, all right, all right. Welcome, 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 everybody. This is your man Miles. It is Sunday school, and listen, today we're going to talk about how to insure your subject to deals. This is a big thing. A lot of people miss out on this. It is vitally important so that you can make sure that the due on sale clause doesn't get triggered. These are absolutely important things that a lot of people miss. And listen, before we even get into all of that, I want to tell you thank you all. Watching with the team. Thank you all for your support. It's been a very, very long week here at the Miles household. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding. And we're going to make it happen. So without further ado, let's get to it, right? I want you to make sure that you have something to write with. These are things that are going to be important for you. If you take screenshots, I'll share some of the notes that I have. But we're going to go ahead and get to it. So this is your man, Miles. And let's make it happen. Being a real estate investor, there's nothing to it.
Sellers are just waiting for my call. Hey.
I'm sick and tired of y'all calling me. Stop calling my phone. I'm just sick of them. Sick.
So basically, there's no competition.
All I have to do is mail these out. Boom. Here comes the money.
Real estate. Easy money.
Hey, get away from my car.
My offers are solid, and they always get accepted.
Be nice.
As real estate investors, we make our own hours.
Now all I have to do is put in these bandit signs.
If you invest in real estate, you know exactly what you just saw. It can be problematic, right? It's the same group of people going after the same group of people saying the same thing to the same group of people. I get it. I've done it all. Some of those strategies can work, but it's all about messaging and numbers. But I'm here to tell you today that there's an absolutely better way to get things done, that you can double what you're doing. If you're a full-time investor already, you should be doing 5 to 10 deals a month. If you're not, let's have a conversation. If you're just getting started, this is the best way for you to go and get started. If you don't have any money to put into marketing and you want to develop a pipeline of deals that's consistently coming through, and you don't have to have the exact same conversation over and over and over again with another new seller. All you have to do is watch this study that I've put together for you. It's a little bit of a training, and let's have a conversation afterward. I've been at this for more than 2 decades, and we've developed strategies and relationships and systems and processes that allow our business to do 15 deals, 12 deals a month per market that we're in. And I want to share this information with you. Click the link below. Let's have a conversation. Peace. All right. Welcome back. As always, if you want to know more and you want to get there faster, go to the link in the description and do that. I've also put in the description to this a download for you to get all of the documents that you would need. Well, most of the very important documents that you would need to do a subject to deal. The only thing I will tell you there is once you download it, you're going to get the PDF version right away, but I'm also going to email you the Word version, okay? So you can manipulate it in the best way possible for you and your business. Cool? Okay, cool. So I want to first give a quick shout out to JC and the squad. These are my editing people. We are kicking off a bunch of releases on all social media platforms starting tomorrow. So welcome. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. This is absolutely going to give you a lot more insight into the inner workings of the mind that I am, right? All right. So why is it important for you to understand insurance
for your subject to deals? Well, that's an easy answer. If you're not insured properly, you could very easily and most likely trigger the due on sale clause, or the escalation clause in the contract that was written between the your seller with the previous buyer of the home and the lender. So you need to make sure that you're safe and that you don't have to come out of pocket God knows how much money or unravel the deal to structure it in a different way simply because you missed this absolute important step. Okay? Contracts are one thing. Insurance is a whole nother thing. And I don't want you to miss the importance of this. So throughout this, as always, if you have questions, reach out into the comments. Let me answer your questions, okay? This is something that has been coming up a great deal lately because more and more and more of the people that I work with, the students and in our education program, are getting more and more subject to deals. As you know, I speak very heavily about that right now, as well as cash deals, because we're putting in two kind of offers at any given time. But it's imperative that you get this. So screenshot, write it down, have a pen, paper, whatever it is you're going to do, but you need to know this. And if you have questions, by all means, just ask and you shall receive. Fair enough? Okay, cool. Now, one of the very first things that you should do, and I'm going to share my screen with you a little bit here. Here we go. It's going to take a second for that to come up, and that's cool. I'll get to that. Here we go. The very first thing that you need to make sure when you're doing this is that you're putting the owner's name that's on the deed as the primary. Now, what do I mean when I say the primary? What do I mean when I say the owner's name on deed? You're taking over the property, right? Your name, your company's name, your trust, that's on the deed. So you are the primary insured person or entity, if you will. You have to make sure that that's there, right? Because if the house burns down or if there's a break-in or there's some damage that requires you to deal with the insurance company, you're going to be able to do that. But you can only do that if you're the primary. It's not going to matter if you're someone else, all right? Or another person, another party to this. So you have to make sure that you're situated as the primary on there. Period, point blank, okay? And then secondly, you're going to, let me just go ahead and knock this out. You're going to have to, the policy must actually reflect the current owner, the current occupancy status. So what does that mean? What does current occupancy status mean? Do you live in the house? No, you don't live in the house. So it is a non-owner occupied insurance. You're going to be renting it out, or you're going to do a lease option or a wraparound mortgage. So you have to make sure that that's put in a certain kind of way. Now, there's a caveat to this, and we'll talk about it specifically as it relates to wraparound mortgages. The person that you're selling the house to, right? And now here's how slick creative finance can be. So you've taken over the property subject to the existing mortgage, right? But you're doing a wraparound mortgage to another party, right? So they're the ones that have to be insured. You have to be named on the insurance, but they're the ones that have to be insured. So depending on the time frame that this goes with, you've got anywhere between a week and 30 days, really, right? But depending on the time in terms of changing your insurance over, because you remember, you're going to have two policies. You're going to have two policies. There's the policy that was in place from the person that you bought it from, and there's the secondary policy that you're going to have, right? So there's this overlapping period of days or weeks for you to make that change. Now, depending on how long it takes for you to get the buyer, your end buyer, to do a wraparound mortgage, they're going to have to come in and get the insurance. And the way that's structured is a little bit different, right? They're going to be named as the primary. There's going to be two lenders on it, you and the original lender. And you're also going to have someone else, the previous owner, on there as well, because they have to be, which we'll discuss here in a second. So those are some of the very important things that you absolutely have to know. Why is that? Because if you do not do that, Insurance companies don't want to pay. So if there is a claim, they will look for ways to deny that claim. They don't want to have to pay. Why would they? I mean, it seems like it would be easy for them to do that because that's their business, right? But that's not actually the case. They're looking for ways to get out of this, okay? House isn't properly insured. The occupancy status is incorrect. The owner on record isn't the owner on the loan. Although those are legal situations, you just don't want to give them any reason whatsoever to be able to back out because they're going to take a long time anyway. I mean, we didn't just have it in November, early November. We had a house burn, right? Arson, as most cases. But that was in the beginning of November. We just got the check Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. That's a really long time. Keep in mind now, I'm still paying insurance. I'm still paying the mortgage, and there's no income coming in from that property. So you just have to keep those things in mind, right? They were looking for a way to deny that particular claim because if we lived in the house, we would be like, hey, something's got to kick in right away. I mean, there's going to be, depending on the kind of insurance you get, we're not going to have an insurance seminar today, but they're going to look for a way to get out of that deal. And you have to be mindful of that when you're doing your subject to deals, okay? You have to be able to move and navigate your way through this whole process so that you can make things happen. Okay, so next, let me see here. You're going to have to cancel that existing policy. But again, it's a process. And I just want to show you what you need to do. And then I'm going to give you the process. Okay. All right. So you got to cancel the existing policy, take your power of attorney, and present it to the existing insurance and have whatever balance is in the escrow account sent to you right away. So you're going to make, a few $100 on this deal right away, which is pretty cool. I mean, 9 times out of 10, the previous owner has escrows in place, right? So when you pay your mortgage, you're not just paying principal insurance, you're also paying the taxes, principal and interest, you're also paying the taxes and insurance. And that just goes and sits in a fund at the bank with the lender. And at the end of the year, the insurance company, as well as the tax assessor, will send a bill to the lender, and then the lender will pull that money out of its escrow account that you've been paying into and pay that off, right? And then next year, your payment could go up or down a little bit depending on how much those taxes and insurance were. Now, once you present your power of attorney to the existing insurance company as well as the lender, it's going to state in the information that you're sharing with them that they need to release this money to 123 Main Street in the name of ABC LLC or ABC Trust, however you're taking title. I'm knowing you're not going to take title in your name. You're not doing that. So it's going to be in one of your business. And when you communicate with them, you have to let them know that you are the management company, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, because you will be managing this property. You'll be managing this property. Even though you've taken it over, you are managing the ongoings of this particular property. Okay? Now, you're going to have to get a non-owner occupied policy. We talked about that. Your occupancy status is absolutely important. These are things that you're going to have to do, and here's how you're going to list them. You're going to list how to take title as the primary loss payee, right? Now, let me share this with you. Okay, that's right here. Boom. You're going to get your non-owner occupied policy. You're going to list how to take title as the primary loss payee. Here's how that lays out. You're going to have your mortgage holder, right? Whoever the mortgage company is that you're doing this deal with. I don't know who that's going to be, right? Whoever the lender is, you're going to name them as a loss payee on there. If you're doing a wraparound mortgage, you're going to name your company as a loss payee on there as a lender. The seller as the additionally insured, the people you got it from. You say, okay, why name them? Well, you're going to name them because if they're not on title, If they're not on the insurance, excuse me, it is going to cause a huge issue with the lender, and that could very easily trigger the due on sale clause, which you do not want to happen. Then you're going to have your management company, which is you, right? So presuming you're doing a wraparound mortgage, let's say, you're managing that. So you have one company that's going to be receiving the loan, the income from that loan. And you have another company that's overseeing the actual property. That's your management company. Now, you don't have to do that. You can have it both as one. It doesn't cost you anything more to do this. But if you have a stake in this property, you're going to want to have that on there. And of course, I put me on there, and my buyer. But me is going to be one of my entities, right? So take a screenshot of that, write that down, okay? I want you to make sure that this is in your repertoire. You need to know this, because if you don't, it will cause problems, and it'll cause expensive problems. Problems that can cost you anywhere from a few $1,000s all the way up to whatever the balance is on that loan. So you need to make sure that you are completely and totally aware of what it is you need to do. And if you're not, reach out to me. Let's figure something out and let's get you educated on these things. It's absolutely imperative that you fully and wholly understand exactly what you need to do from an insurance perspective. It's that important. Now, we were doing a deal with someone in our community this week, which is what prompted me to push this forward today, because she was doing this deal and almost forgot completely about the insurance aspect of it. I don't exactly know how she could have missed it, but she did. So when we're going through our checklist, because we have a checklist, she didn't have this particular portion taken care of yet. She didn't even have a quote yet. Now, fortunately, she hadn't closed on it yet. She was just a couple days away from doing that. So she had enough time to go out and get the insurance, the secondary policy. And you'll notice when we do our entry fee, if you guys don't remember that, go back and watch, what is an entry fee. In fact, I'll do a video this week and share that with you. More than likely it'll be on YouTube. I'll probably put it here in the Facebook group as well. But if you don't know what your entry fee is, it's all the fees, all of the money that go into what it takes to get into a subject to deal, even if you're wholesaling that deal, right? It's just important to know what all those numbers are. Insurance is a part of that number, right? Insurance is a part of that number. I generally will wrap it into the cost of the closing. So when you see mine, it's $3,000 for closing, depending on where it is and what kind of property it is. But generally, it's about $2,600 or $2,800. But I go up to about $3,000. It depends on how much your title company or attorney is going to cost as well to do these closings. It may only cost $600 or $700 to do the closing, but then there's title insurance, there's property insurance, and all of that. That's going to bump it up closer to that $3,000 number. So you just want to be there. So your entry fee is all of the fees. If there's any arrears, that's in there. If there's any cash to seller, that's in there. If there's an agent or a wholesaler, that's in there. Repair cost, that's in there. Closing cost, insurance, that's in there. Holding costs, carrying costs while you're doing any repairs or marketing, that's in there. All those numbers are inside there. You have to absolutely make sure that you're taking care of this. And she almost missed it. Well, it wasn't that she was going to miss it. She was going to do it wrong. And that could have, likely would have triggered the due on sale clause once the lender got a hold of it. But again, that's the importance of having a mentor. That's the importance of working in a community, having a team, a structure, right? In fact, we're going to have deals that we'll be able to present to our community more, probably starting this week. I want to make sure, and if you guys have deals that you want to share, it doesn't mean it has to just be a creative deal. It could be a cash deal, a fix and flip, a buy and hold, turnkey kind of stuff. If there's an opportunity that you have access to and you want to make some money and you're in our community, and if you're watching this, you're in our community, go ahead and share those in the Facebook group. Absolutely share that in the Facebook group. We have an active community of people that are looking for deals. Straight up. They're either looking to buy, they're looking to sell, they're looking to fund, they're looking to do these things, right? Anyway, I digress. Let me get back. Let me take a sip of water here. Ah, beautiful stuff. All right. So going back, I want to just share this with you again. Please take a screenshot. These are the things you must have. You must have this. The owner as named on the deed as the primary. That would be you or your buyer if you're doing a wraparound. The policy must accurately reflect the current occupancy status. If it's you, it is non-owner occupied. If you are selling it to an actual homeowner, it is an owner-occupied policy because they will be living in the property. If you're buying it for yourself and your family, it's an owner-occupied policy because you live in the property, okay? If there is a claim, just understand if you do your paperwork right, you're not giving the lender, or excuse me, the insurance company any way out, right? Because they will look for a way out. If they can, they will. So you have to be aware of that, right? Cancel the existing policy as soon as possible, within a week to a month, depending on how fast you can move. You know, cancel out the secondary or the first policy and put this new policy in place. Take your power of attorney and present it to the existing insurance company and or lender. Well, you know, and when I say and or, it's definitely going to be the insurance company, but it could also be the lender in the event that there are escrows in place. If there's no escrow in place, then yeah, you don't really need to ask them for the existing policy because they don't need it. They're not paying into it. But you'll know that once you go through your particular deal, your individual deal. And whatever balances, again, that there are in that escrow is going to be sent to you. Non-owner occupancy policy is what you need. And again, a list of the people that you're going to have in there, right? You're going to have yourself as the primary or your buyer as the primary. Depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're renting it out, if you're leasing it, if you're Airbnb-ing it, whatever you're doing, you are there as the primary, right? Your management company. If you're a wraparound mortgage, your finance company, the mortgage holder, as well as the seller. Do not forget to put the seller on there. I hope you've taken this screenshot. I hope you've written this down because that's important. You know, I also want to talk just a second. I want to kind of do a sidebar here because we have some people, including myself, but it's a different kind of situation, right? You're starting a new business here. It's not going to be that easy for you. It takes time to learn these strategies. There's so much that goes with real estate investing. It doesn't matter if it's just wholesaling, right? Because you can wholesale subject twos, you can wholesale cash deals. It doesn't matter if it's cash deals, doesn't matter if it's creative financing, doesn't matter if it's fix and flip. There's a language that comes with this. There's a terminology. If you've bought the book, let me grab it and I'll show you. All right, so this is my latest book, right? When there's blood in the streets, when you go into the back, there's a whole glossary of terminology in there, right? I mean, there's from A to Z. I mean, I literally have probably 100 pages. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but let's see. That's 48. Yeah, it's a little over 100 pages. Wow. You don't pay attention to these things when you're writing it. But I felt that it was extremely important to make sure that as a new investor, you learn this language. So from page 187 to page 348, it is a glossary. So if you don't have the book, reach out to me. Just pay the shipping and handling and I'll send it to you. Just reach out and say you want it. It's cool. But it's imperative that you understand these things because when you don't understand them, you feel lost. You feel like you don't know what's going on. It feels like you speak English and you've been dropped off in, you know, some South American country where they don't speak English and they only speak Spanish and you don't know it. And you're trying to figure it out, right? You simply don't know where you're going. You get lost in the shuffle of this business, and it makes you want to quit. It makes you want to give up. It makes you want to let go of your dreams and just say, look, I'm just going to work. If this is what you really want to do, you have to stick with it. It could take you 3 months to be successful. Maybe not the success you want for yourself, but to start on that. It could take you a year to find success. It took me 2.5 years. 2.5 years it took me before I finally broke down and got some help. And then I realized what I was missing, because I had a lot of knowledge. I had a lot of information. I was out there doing the work, right? But I was missing these connectors, all these little blocks. I was missing them. And because I was missing them, I wasn't making any money. Did I close deals? Yeah, but it was so spread out. I would close a deal today, might not close another deal for 3 months. You can't live like that unless you're making, $80,000 a deal. You simply can't live like that. You can't, but you can't give up. You can't quit. And I was trying to share this with you last week, so I'm going to share it with you right now.
Did you ever get down where it was like, man, this ain't gonna work?
All
Or,
the time. That's why I call my thing the marathon, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie and portray this ultimate poise like I've had it figured out. Nah, I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. With trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what gonna separate whoever's going trying to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
You just can't quit. And it makes you feel like you want to quit sometimes. This is a new business, a new entity, a new road, a new path, a new whatever. And in order for you to find success, you've got to see your way through this. And you've got to lean on the people that are around you. That's why the community is so important, right? When you're having a hard time with a thing, you've got people to lean on. I don't want you to feel alone. I want you to find success. And I want you to do that with us. I want you to do it for yourself, but I want you to do that with us. And understand, in this community, in the Real Estate 360 community, we're all here to help one another, period. And you got to make sure that you understand exactly what it is you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and see your way through, okay? We're going to keep this one kind of short today because I don't want to give you a whole thing on insurance. Again, if you go into the description, wherever you're watching this, I made sure that this description was available to, or these links were available to you. You can download your forms for free. You can see what it's like to work with me and my team, and we can really just have a conversation about all this stuff. In the meantime, I am here for you. I pray that you have all the success that you dream of. And if it's real estate related, I can help you do that. Just reach out to me and let's make things happen. This is your man, Miles. And as always, I really appreciate you. Thank you again for your support this week. It's been a really, really long week. I'll be back on track to the best of my ability, hopefully to my full capacity, starting right now, actually. And we'll go from there. This is your man, Miles. And thank you so much. I love y'all. Peace. What's going on, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? I hope you're feeling great, doing well. I've had a lot of conversations over the past, I'd probably say about the past couple months, 2-3 months, about people wanting to get involved in real estate and asking how they can get involved in real estate given all that's going on with the economy. Well, you either have a lot of time, which means you don't have the money, or you have a lot of money, which means you don't have the time. And they want to know how they can get involved in real estate. Some of them have said, look, man, what do I need to do to just get into a deal, right? I don't really have the time to do all of that. So we've just invested their money in some of the deals that we do. So I'm here to open the invitation to all my friends and family that are watching this right now. If you're interested in getting involved in real estate and you simply don't have a ton of money or you don't have a ton of time, maybe you only have, $5,000, maybe you have $100,000, I don't know. But if you're interested in investing in real estate deals passively, truly passively, just reach out to me. There's no link. This isn't an ad. Just DM me and let's have a conversation. We've got deals right now that we can fund. Right now, as of right now, multifamily as well as single family. Deals that you can be in as little as 6 months
and as much as 2 or 3 years, depends on the scenario and what your particular investment strategy is. All I can say is let's have a conversation. So if you're interested, friends and family, just reach out, let's have a conversation.